You guys a fan of horror? I love horror. This is my horror game tier list. And yes, I've beaten all of these games, okay? So don't be roasting me in the comments, yelling at me. You guys had every right to last time, okay? I will say. And I do take the criticism well, because I'm using it, like I said, to make this video better. And using only games that I've beaten and played and loved. Or didn't love. I mean, of course, because this is a ranking list. There's only about 12 games right here. These are like my main like favorite games. I've played a lot of like indie games. If you go back on my channel a few years ago or a couple years ago or whatever, you'll see a little more like indie games and stuff like that, smaller games. I streamed a lot of indie games on my Twitch a long while ago, like 2 years ago. I kind of stopped streaming though because school is getting crazy, but I'm done with school now. So I should start streaming again, definitely. And I should do it on YouTube because they can just turn into videos if you can't watch the stream. Anyway, I'm thinking out loud, and I'm sorry. But I also didn't expect to be in my... I'm decked out in my college apparel today. I even got the fucking alumni mug that they gave me. My boss gave it to me at my last day at my job when I worked there. But I didn't know I'd be decked out in ISU stuff today. But you know what? I like it. I think red looks good. Red and black is like my favorite combo. So anyway, let's get right into the action, shall we? We're going to start from right to left this time because we started from left to right last time. So I think we're going to start from right to left. Let's get going. So we got Visage. If you guys have not played Visage, this game is pretty hard. Puzzles are pretty annoying, but it's a terrifying game and it's really fun. I think just because it's very, very complicated, I'm going to go ahead and give that an A. It's a very great looking game. Atmosphere's great. It plays really well. Like, it's pretty smooth. But yeah, it's pretty challenging. It's not for like the novice horror fan. You kind of got to know what you're doing. So I think A is a pretty good rank for that. If you guys don't think so, let me know down below. Oh boy, Evil Within 1. It's got to be a hard one because Evil Within 1 and 2 are my favorites. Well, they're in my top 5 or top 10 for sure. But I think Evil Within 1, because I've played that so much. Man, this is a hard one to rank. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and give this an A as well, because it's a fantastic game, fantastic. But thinking about it, Evil Within 2, that's just the story of Evil Within 2. I like a lot more. I mean, the story and stuff and the psychological aspects of Evil Within 1 is great, but Evil Within 2, I mean, it's more open world. I think you have more weapons that you can use. You can craft a lot more. Of course, it looks better. Evil Within 2, I'm giving an S. I'm giving that S tier. Soma, oh boy. This game is not like very popular, but it's very good. I almost cried at it. Like, this is like the first horror game I almost cried at. So I'm gonna give that. Okay, I'm gonna switch these around. There we go. I wanted the colors to, match. I wanted to have the reds and the blues. Anyway, Soma is a fantastic game. If you guys have not played it, I highly recommend it. It's kind of like Alien Isolation in a way. If you guys like that game, you got to kind of sneak around and stuff like that. But it's a fantastic game, and it's probably one of the only horror games I've almost cried at, which is weird that I've almost cried at a horror game. But yeah, Soma, that's an S tier in my opinion. I texted my buddy right after I beat it like 5 years ago, and I was like, dude, this game's a 10 out of 10. This game is awesome. So if you guys have not played it, go ahead and play that. I think it's made by the same people who made Amnesia, so that's also pretty damn awesome. Resident Evil 7, S tier. I'm going to record more videos of Resident Evil 7. Well, I've never recorded it before for YouTube, but I'm going to record either my own playthrough or probably my own playthrough because I want to. And I know a couple of you guys, thank you, by the way, have said that you've wanted to see some gameplay of it, and I will happily deliver that. I'm trying to broaden my videos and do a lot more stuff. I'm doing sports. I'm trying to do more horror. I did a lot of horror back in the day, but I kind of stopped doing it for a while. But I was mainly recording like indie stuff, so nobody was really watching, which makes sense. But it was still fun to do. So, Phasmophobia. This is more of a multiplayer game, but I've played it by myself, and it's terrifying. I think it's an S tier game that came out recently, because if you guys watch Ghost Adventures or seen like Ghost Hunter shows, Ghost Adventures is my favorite show of all time for like discovery shows and stuff like that, travel shows, and paranormal shows in general. And Phasmophobia gave me that like straight Ghost Adventures vibe, and I loved it. You can use all sorts of equipment and everything, and they just did so well with it. The atmosphere, they updated the graphics recently, which I need to play. I need to maybe record some of that too. I should do sometime, maybe on Halloween, not on Halloween, but maybe Halloween week. I'll try to either get some buddies to play Phasmo with me, or I can play it by myself and try to see if I can beat it by myself, which I've never done. I played it by myself, but I haven't actually like made it through an objective by myself. I was too scared of myself. Anyway, oh man, I don't think I need to say anything about these games. Outlast 1, that game scared the absolute piss out of me. It was insane. I don't even know what to say about it. It was just so good. Outlast 2 as well. Not as scary as Outlast 1, but it still, I think, takes the S tier. Amnesia Rebirth. Okay, this one, I'm going to do this one first because I just looked at it. Amnesia Rebirth. This game's a good game, but I wasn't really connected as much to it like all the other ones. So I'm giving that a B. You guys don't have to agree with me. You probably won't agree with me. If you do, great. But Amnesia Rebirth, I'd give that probably a B. I was going to put the other Amnesias in here, but I still got to go back and beat them. So I didn't do that. So we're good. I didn't do that. So yeah, that's probably a B. Metro Exodus. This isn't really considered a horror game, but it's considered a survival horror, which I still put in this list. I mean, if you think about it, I could have put like Green Hell in here if you guys know what game that is and stuff like that. But I didn't. Maybe that's a different tier list. But Metro Exodus, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. The story I did like a lot. I think the story could have been a little better if I remember it correctly. I also got, I think, the bad ending. So I'd probably need to go back and play it again. But I'll give that an A. Layers of Fear 1. Layers of Fear 1, I'll probably go ahead and give a... I'm going to give it an A, because the only reason I give it an A is because it was a great game. Great psychological game. Great dialogue, characters. Great soundtrack, great atmosphere. The graphics are pretty good for the time. But the scares, they didn't get me as much as I thought they would. I actually do have a Let's Play of Layers of Fear on my channel from the past. I don't remember if I actually get scared a lot in that or not. I'd have to go back and see. But right now, I'm going to give Layers of Fear an A. And we're going to just leave it at that. Okay. Layers of Fear 2. This game was a pretty good predecessor to Layers of Fear 1. You know what? Actually, I'm going to switch this around. I'm going to give Layers of Fear an S, because that one I did replay like 3 or 4 times, and it was a great game. Layers of Fear 2, I'm going to give that one an A. I loved that one. I got to go back and play it again. Maybe I'll do that for YouTube as well if you guys want to see that. If you want to see Layers of Fear 2 on my channel, let me know, and I will deliver. Okay, you may have seen too, I kind of changed the format around a little bit. I'm only doing S, A, and B, because these are all the games that I love. So I just made it S, A, and B, because I felt like all these games aren't worthy of C or D. And there's only 2 left. And I know they're going to be in either A or S, probably. Until Dawn. This could go with like the anthology the anthology series. If you guys know what that is, the Dark Anthology. My buddy and I love playing those. We got to record more of that for YouTube. I don't know if I uploaded any of those in the past. I think I streamed them. But other than that, I don't think I did any videos. But Until Dawn, this is a fantastic game. It was a little cheesy at some points. So I'm going to give that an A. I think it could have been a little longer too, which it made sense though, because they were, it took place from night until daytime. So it makes sense. It took place in one night. Great game. But I think it could have been a little better in my opinion. And the acting, like the dialogue was kind of cheesy and kind of weird at some points. And I was just kind of like, okay, what the fuck? But the combat, like I don't remember what they call it, but it's when you have to actually, the reaction combat, is that what they call it? We have to like click whenever they say to, or else you like die basically. I don't remember if that's actually what it's called. Reaction gameplay? I don't know. Reaction combat? Anyway, Until Dawn, right now, that's an A. I'm going to go back again at the end and make sure this is what I want, or I'll switch it around a little bit. Alien Isolation. This game, I think I'm going to give an S. And I'm giving that an S because it is it was just an all-around great game. Knowing that you're isolated by yourself, and it took place, or, it's made from the people, I don't know, well, it's not made from the people who made the movies Alien, but I think Warner Brothers, I think, either produced or developed Alien Isolation. I don't remember for sure. But all I know is it's supposed to be like the game version of Alien. And if you guys have seen Alien, those movies are fantastic. It keeps you on the edge of your seat for like the whole movie, and I love it. So Alien Isolation, I'd say that's an S because one, it goes after what the movie was, and then they just hit everything on the head with it. Like the objectives you got to do, the terror level is great. The atmosphere, the darkness of it, just knowing that you're isolated with an alien, that's pretty terrifying in my opinion, and I love that. And I love sci-fi. It's also sci-fi. So, I mean, a sci-fi horror is one of the best in my opinion. That's why I love Alien Isolation and Soma so much. But yeah, this is my list, guys. This has been like 12 of my favorite horror games. It took me a sec to think about which horror games I wanted on this list because I know there's so many horror games, but I wanted ones that you guys might have known and heard of. Maybe maybe next time or in the future, I'll do like favorite horror indie games. And that way I could put you guys onto some indie games as well, if you haven't played any. But right now, this is my list. I'm going to go through real quick and make sure this is what I want. So stick with me, guys. We'll be right back. Okay, so we switched around a couple things. I switched Visage to A or S and Phasma to A. The only reason for Phasma to A, which A is still not a bad rating at all. Like in all of these ratings, A, B, S, they're not bad at all. So none of these games were F, in my opinion, or D. But Phasma, I mean, it was a little more glitchy, and I think, well, of course, they've done some updates over the years, but it's a little more glitchy and wonky than a lot of these games. So for that reason alone, I gave that an A. And the scares were kind of cheesy at times, and sometimes stuff didn't really scare me in it. So that's a reason I gave it an A. Visage, though, I put an S again because just thinking about the game in general and just the demon itself that's in it, and then, the graphics, just all of it. It gave me a PT vibe. RIP that game. I wish PT was out. Oh well. I think my cousin still has it on his PS5, which is awesome. I wish I do. I wish I had a PS5 or PS4. I mean, can you imagine that game on PS5? Holy shit, or PC. Anyway, I think that's really all I switched around. Let me look real quick. Oh, I put Layers of Fear down below, in A as well, because Layers of Fear 1 and 2, there was never really. It's not like a terrifying game. It's a scary game in the sense of like the way you're on edge because you don't know what's going to happen next. And you have to like, your brain starts getting full of like what they're throwing at you. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Probably doesn't, but who knows? But I'd say those are probably A games. I'll go back and play them again. I'll probably do some videos on Layers of Fear 2. I already have a playthrough of Layers of Fear 1. So you guys can go watch that if you want. They did release, actually, a newer version of Layers of Fear 1 and 2 that they made in Unreal Engine, I'm pretty sure. Unreal Engine 5, I think. Because that just released. So I might get that, too. With the DLCs. I have never played DLCs yet, so... Who knows? We might do that. I don't know. But this is my list, guys. I hope you like it. I hope you don't. I mean, if not, let me know. Leave your comments down below for what tier lists you want next. I know somebody said that they wanted like Skyrim in one of the single player ones. I love that game. So I might do another. I'm gonna do another single player one at some point soon. But let me know, guys. I want to do some tier lists of what you guys recommend. I'm thinking about doing some movies, like horror movies and comedy movies and stuff like that. Music. Logic's one of my favorite rappers, artists, so I might rank like his albums and stuff. But that might be for a different time. But let me know if you guys want to see that. And that's going to be it for me today. I might go record some videos right now to get ready for you guys. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. Stay cold out there because it's still 95 degrees out for some reason. But next week, it's supposed to be like 80 degrees. Thank God, fall's coming. Pumpkin cream cold brew's out. I'm excited. If you guys have never had a pumpkin cream cold brew, highly recommended. Highly. But with that, I love you all. Thank you for the support and everything. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.